Hello, good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about the lecture number 4, that is ionic solid. Lecture number 4, that is ionic solid. Okay students, next is the ionic solid. The ionic solid means the ionic bond is the whatever the solid is there, the solid in which whatever the constant particles are present, constituent particles are have a ions. Solid in which whatever constant particles are present, constant particle between them have a ions and they're having an ionic bond called as ionic solid. Ions are the constituent particles of ionic solid. Such solid are formed by three-dimensional arrangement of cations and anions bound by strong Coulombic force. Strong Coulombic or electrostatic force. Ions are the constant particles of the ionic solid. Right? I already told you the ionic solid in which the ions are the constant particles. Right? The solid is there. This is the solid crystals. In this solid crystals, the ions are present. Positive ions, negative ions are present. Constant particles are the ions, both positive and negative ions. So that is we call it the ionic solid. So this ionic solid which are arranged in three-dimensional structure. Three-dimensional structure means the particles are lying side by side, one above the other in three-dimensional forms. X, Y, and Z axis, they have a three-dimensional state. Three-dimensional state exists in a cube form like structure. That is three-dimensional. And in this three-dimensional structure, cations and anions are bonded by the electrostatic force. In this crystal, cation as well as anions are bonded by the electrostatic force of attractions. Electrostatic force of attraction. Understood? So these solids are hard and brittle in nature. Whatever the ionic solids are present, the ionic solids are hard and brittle in nature. They have high melting point and boiling point. Whatever the ionic crystals are present, ionic crystals have a high melting and boiling point because the whatever the ions are, the more strongly holding with one another's ionic attractions are more strongly as compared to the polar molecular solid or molecular solid. So ionic bond, the ionic attraction, the ionic bond which having the stronger, higher melting point or higher boiling point as compared to the molecular solid, because the ionic attraction, electrostatic force of attraction is higher than the dipole force of attraction or van der Waals force of attraction or hydrogen bonding attraction. So ionic force is more stronger. So that's why the melting point is high. If the ionic bond between them, the attraction is strong. Attraction is strong means the particles to move far apart from each other, we have to apply more temperature. If you apply more temperature, it means that at the high temperature, it is going to be melt. That is high melting point. Understood, students? Since the ions are not free to move about the electrical insulator in the solid state, the ions, so in the solid state, it acts as a insulator form. In the solid state, ionic solid cannot conduct electricity. In solid state, ionic compound cannot conduct electricity. So it is electrical insulator in a solid state form. Ions are not free. Ions are strongly attracted with each other. Due to that reason, ions are not free and they cannot move. So that's why it acts as an electrical insulator. Understood, students? Right. However, in the molten state, when dissolved in water, this ionic solid cannot conduct electricity in solid state. But when it dissolved in water, ions are free, ions are moved far apart from each other. When ions, this is ionic solid, when these are adding into the water, ions are moved far apart from each other. there is no interaction, there is no repulsion between the same ions, there is no attraction between the opposite ions. So in this case, ions are free here. The ions are free means they are definitely conduct electricity. Right students, definitely conduct electricity in ionic state. Molten state, in aqueous state, right students. Molten state means students, the ions are heated, the solid ions are heated, turns into liquid form called as molten state. In molten state, it conducts electricity as well as it aqueous state. Solid salt adding into the water to form aqueous solution. In this aqueous solution, it conducts electricity. Understood students? Okay. Metallic solid. Metals are orderly collection of positive ions and negative ions. Okay, one more, the third one students. The third one, no? Okay, third property. Metallic solid. Metals are orderly collection of positive ions surrounded by and held together by sea of free electrons. So what are the ionic solid? There is ionic solid in which the atoms are arranged orderly. Orderly means the one by one, like this students. Like iron is a metal. Iron is a metal. So in this state, the positive ions all are positive ions because the iron is a metal. Metal is always lose electrons. After losing electron, it develops positive charge. Right students? So that's why ions are the freely conduct electricity. Sorry. Here the ions are there here. Ions. Is a metal which have a tendency to lose electron. After losing electron, it develop positive charge. So it is considered as a all are positive charge ions. All are positive ions. So positive ions are surrounded by held together by the free electrons, in which the free electrons are present. In which whatever shells are present here, shells in which many electrons are present students here. These are electrons. I mentioned here E. Electrons are present. So many free electrons are present here. These free electrons are rotating from this end to this end. So electrons are travel from this electron, which is travel from this end to this end. Again here to here, the free electrons which is travel around the mobile atom. It is called mobile electrons because electrons are flow one end to another end, one atom to another atom, another atom to another atom. They are jump like this. So it is mobile free electrons throughout the crystal. So in which the solid in which whatever the constant particles are present, constant particles are present in the form of metal. Constant particles present in the form of metal. Metal have a positive charge. In this positive charge metal ion surrounded by the number of free electrons. And these free electrons are travel one atom to another atom to next atoms. Right students? So each metal atom contributed one or more electron towards the C mobile free electron. So electrons are travel from one atom to another atom. I shown you in this here the diagram. This diagram, mobile free electrons are travel from one atom to another atom around the metal atom. So it is called mobile solid. Right students? Therefore, mobile free electrons responsible for high electrical and thermal conductivity. Due to the high thermal and electric conductivity, it carry electron travel from one atom to another atoms through a whole crystals. Right students? When an electrified is applied, electron flow through the network of positive ions. When electric field is applied, then what happens students? When electric field is applied, then electron which is travel from one end to another end. So here you may use the one metal. So in this metal you are applying the electric field. you are applying the electric field. When you are apply the electric field, here the one end is positive charge. One end is positive charge, another end is negative charge. I will give like this, positive charge, negative charge. So electrons are flow through. What are the electrons are present? Electrons are flow through the positive charge field. That all the electrons are flow through the positive charge field, because this is and the positive charge. So all the electrons from the middle are transferred toward the positive charge. In this side, the positive charge species. This is the positive field is present on the left hand side. So all the electrons from the right hand side are travel towards positive field. So it is when electric field is applied. This is electric field, students. When we are connected with battery connected with the metal, then electrons are flow. The metal from which electrons are flow towards the positive charge field. Right, positive charge field. Understood? Similarly, when heat supplied to one portion of metal, thermal energy is uniformly spread throughout by free electrons. When the metal in which you may supply heat, just you are applying heat, then heat transfer one place to another place. How heat transfer? With the help of electrons. With the help of electrons, the heat transfer one end to another. When electrons are flow along with the heat, so that's why the heat transfer from one end to another end. Right, students? Understood? So next property is the metals lustrous color, because the metal is a property of the metal. Metals are rubbed with one another's, or you rub with the rugmals, or you rub with the some lemon, then metals are going to be shine. Or you may rub metals are rubbed with the acid, then metals are shine, because metals are the lustrous in nature. Right, students? Metals are high, malleable and ductile in nature. The metals are malleable in nature. Malleable means the metals are, the pieces of metals are bitten, it turns into the thin sheet. The small piece of metal bitten by the hammer, it turns into the thin sheet. That is called malleable. Ductile, the metals are used in drawing, withdrawing in plastic wires. Metals are withdrawing in a plastic wires because of conduct electricity. It is easy to handle them. That's why they are used. That is ductility. Yes, friends. So one more, the last one is the covalent solid or network solid. So crystalline solid, non-metals. Crystalline solid, non-metals forms covalent bond. Non-metal forms covalent bond between the adjacent atom throughout the crystal, called as Gantt molecules. Network solid, crystalline solid of non-metal forms covalent bond between the adjacent atoms throughout the crystal, called as Gantt molecule. So Gantt molecule means what are the covalent solid means what are the atoms are there. Atoms are arranged in a large numbers. Atoms are arranged in a large number, called as Gantt molecules. For example, these atoms which are arranged in a large number. Atoms are spreading continuously, they are growing continuously, they are growing continuously, they are growing like this, the large number they are growing. That is called Gantt molecules. Or you may see the coal structure of diamond. The diamond in which the large number of carbon atoms are repeating throughout the crystal, that is Gantt molecules. Right? Or one more example, graphite. Graphite in which carbon atoms are repeating throughout the crystals, that is Gantt molecules. Right? So crystalline solid, non-metals. Carbon is a non-metal. Non-metals from covalent solid bond between the adjacent atoms throughout the crystals. One atom bound to the next atom bound to the another next atom bound to the other, again n number of atoms. Continuously they are repeating one another's. So that is we call the Gantt molecules. Right, students? Covalent bond, strong directional in nature, therefore atoms are held very strongly in the position. Such solid hard and brittle. The whatever the solid is there, the covalent bond polygons are strongly held with one another. One A atoms strongly bond with B atom. Between them strong bond is present. So between them the covalent bond is present. Due to the covalent bond, they are very strongly held with each other. So that's why they are hard in nature and brittle in nature. Understood, students? They have this extremely students. They have extremely high melting point. Extremely high melting point. Extremely high melting point. What are the gain molecules are present? If the atoms are holding strongly with each other. If atoms are strongly holding with each other throughout the crystal, means the atoms, the such type of molecules have a high melting point. MP means melting point. Even decomposes before melting point. And some molecules are decomposes before their melting point. Some particles are separate, decompose, break out before melt. Before melt they are breakdown before melting point. Right, students? And these are act as an insulator. Why element acts as an insulator? Because there is no free electrons, there is no free ions available, so that it cannot conduct electricity. That's why it acts as an insulator. Diamond and silicon carbide are the example. Diamond, silicon carbide are the example, students. Graphite is a soft conductor of electricity. Carbon layers are arranged in different layers such as covalent bonded. Graphite layer are the arranged different layer of each covalent bonded. So graphite is a very soft in nature and conductor of electricity. Why graphite conduct electricity? Because of free electrons. Carbon layers are arranged in the different layers covalently bonded. Carbon layers are arranged in the different layers, students. Different layer they are observed in the textbooks. In textbook they are mentioned the diagrams of the graphite, diagrams of the diamond, students, in which carbon atoms are repeated throughout the crystals and graphite layers are arranged one above the other layers. Right. So graphite, diamond, silicon carbides are the three of the neighbor atoms in same layer. The three of its neighbor atom. So sorry. So carbon layers are arranged in a different layer, covalently bonded to. Carbon layers are arranged each other, covalently bonded to. Next, three of its neighbor atoms in the same layer. One carbon atoms bond with the next three carbon atoms like this. Next three carbon atoms. One carbon atom bond with the next three carbon atoms in this form in the same layers. The same layer they are arranged. In the free electrons are present. One of the free electrons is present because one is unbonded electrons are present here. Unbonded. So unbonded electrons are free electrons. So that's why it conduct electricity. Right, students? Next heading is the crystalline lattice and unit cell. The main characteristics of crystalline solid is regular and repeating pattern. Regular and repeating pattern of constituent particles. Regular and repeating pattern of constituent particles. It means the crystalline solid in which the particles are repeated regularly, like side by side and one above the other. One above the other, like this is a regular pattern. Right, students? So if three-dimensional arrangement of the constituent particles in a crystal represented diagrammatically in each particle's depicted point, called as crystal lattice. So in this arrangement, the regular pattern is present here. If three regular pattern which is present in a three-dimensional forms, if this is present in a three-dimensional form like this, students, in this form like this, students. So in which particles are repeated in three-dimensional parts regularly, side by side, one above the other, in this form. In this form, that is we called as the crystal lattice. Crystal lattice, the three-dimensional arrangement. The three-dimensional arrangement of the particles repeated regularly. Repeated regularly. Each particles are depicted point. Each particles depicted point called as a crystal lattice. So in these crystals, in this three-dimensional crystal, these are three-dimensional crystals. In this three-dimensional crystals, each point, these are the points, each point which represent the three-dimensional arrangement of the crystals. Each point represent the three-dimensional. Each point, I think this is the A point. A is the one point which is repeated regularly around these crystals, and which is three-dimensional form. And each point, through each point we have to describe the three-dimensional structure called as crystal lattice. Understood, students? Understood? So through the points we are describing the three-dimensional structure by using points. We are describing the three-dimensional structure. The three-dimensional structure we are describing or explaining with the help of points. With the help of points we are describing. Right. So this point may be atoms, ions or molecules. So three-dimensional, this is three-dimensional crystals. These three-dimensional crystals are represented by using these points or by using this circle. Circle is the point, students. With the help of this point we are representing these three-dimensional crystals. That is called crystal lattice. Right. So crystal lattice, three-dimensional structure of crystals are represented by point called as crystal lattice. Right, students? Crystal lattice. Regularly three-dimensional arrangement of the point in a space called as crystal lattice. Called as a crystal lattice. This is one more definition, students. This is one more definition. Or either you write this definition or this definition, both are same. Three-dimensional arrangement of the point in a space, that is we call it the crystal lattice. Three-dimensional arrangement of the arrangement of point in a space called as crystal lattice. Right, students? Crystal lattice. Three-dimensional structures. This is a three-dimensional structure. These three-dimensional structures are represented. How we are represented this three-dimensional structure? By using the points. We are using the 8 points are using to represent the one three-dimensional structures. That's true. So this is the one structure. There are the 14 three-dimensional lattice called Bravais lattice. The Bravais is one of the scientists who has invented the 14 three-dimensional lattice. 14. He invented the 14 crystal lattice. He invented 14 crystal lattice. We will discuss after the completion of this topic, student. What are the 14 Bravais lattice? We will discuss here. So characteristics of lattice point. So before going the characteristics, first we will discuss what is lattice point. Each point in a lattice called as crystal lattice point or lattice site. So each point, for example, this is the one point. So this point we call it a lattice point or lattice site. Or you are using this crystals. So in these crystals, each point, either this A point or this B or this C or this D, each point, this is the one lattice point. This is the one lattice point. This is we call it the lattice point. That's one. This is the whole is crystal. A, B, C, D is the crystal. A, either B or D or C is the lattice point. That's one. So this point may be A or maybe B or maybe C or maybe D. So this is the lattice point. So what is the lattice point? Each point are represent, each lattice point, each crystal lattice represent one constant particles. So what are the lattice point we are representing by using dot? This dot or this point means, or this dot means this position occupying the one constant particles. This position occupying one constant particles, which may be atom, molecules or ions. It may be atoms or it may be ions or it may be molecules or it may be ions. That's students. Understood? For example, students, iron metal which contain iron atoms. So this iron atom is the one lattice point. Iron atom is the one lattice point. Right, students? Understood? This lattice point. Or you may use NaCl. So in this any one ion, you may use either chloride ion or sodium ion. Any one lattice point, right? We are using here the chloride ions. So this chloride ions is the one lattice point. Right, friends? Or sodium ion is the one lattice point. Right, friends? Understood? So iron atom is the one lattice point, or the sodium chloride in which the chloride ion is the one lattice point. Right, friends? Or you may use the H2O, water molecules. So in this water molecule, one water molecules, either this one water molecule is the lattice point. So it means atoms, ions or molecule, the any one species, each one constant particle we called as a lattice point. Right. This lattice points are represented in a three-dimensional structure form we called as a crystal lattice. Understood, students? The first we are using the lattice point. Lattice point means the each point, it may be atom, it may be ions, it may be molecules. So each point may represented by the each atoms, ions or molecule are represented by the point. Right. If this point are represented in three-dimensional form called as crystal lattice. Each point we call as a lattice point. If each point we call as a lattice point. This point we call as a lattice point. But this lattice point, if you are represent three-dimensional form called as a crystal lattice. Right, friends? The lattice points are joined by the straight line to bring out the geometry of the lattice. Right? So lattice points are joined together. The lattice point, maybe it may be atoms, it may be ions, it may be molecules. Lattice points are joined together to give the square structure. Lattice points are joined together to give hexagonal structures. Lattice points joined together to give three-dimensional structure, cubic structure, like this. So lattice point, each lattice points are connected with each other. After connecting, it gives a one geometric structure, square, planar, hexagonal. Okay, next is the unit cell. Smallest portion of crystal lattice called as unit cell. The unit cell means the joining. Unit means the joining or combining. Unit means the join or combine. Joining the lattice point. Joining of lattice point. Here the joining of lattice point. Joining of lattice point. So students, what happened here? The smallest portion of crystal lattice. So already we know that the lattice points are combined with each other to make one lattice points are combined with each other to form one of the one smallest portion of crystal. This is the lattice points. All the lattice points are combined with each other to give one smallest crystal called as unit cell. Uniting the lattice points. The uniting of lattice point here. Unit of lattice point. Unit of lattice point to give one small portion of crystal called as unit cell. Right, students? Or you may use this lattice points are there here. The 6 lattice points. 6 lattice points are combined with each other to give the smallest portion here. Smallest portion, that is the one. The 6 unit cell, 6 lattice point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lattice points are connected with each other to give one smallest portion of crystal called as unit cell. Understood, students? So unit cells are repeated in a different directions, generate the entire lattice. The unit cells, whatever the 3-dimensional structures are there, the 3-dimensional structure in which unit cells are repeated number of times. They are repeated, friends. Number of times they are repeated. Right. If number of times are repeated to give one of the large cubic crystal or 3-dimensional structure it gives. Unit cells are repeated number of times, then it gives large crystals. Right, students? I hope I will try to explain this concept here. This is a one lattice point. Right, students? Again, if you want to break this crystal, like this, students. Look at this, students. How many crystals are there? The many crystals are present here. Many lattice points, many crystals are present here. Right? So like this, the many unit cells are present. The different direction they are repeated. Automatically they are repeated in this crystal. Right, students? So next is the characteristics of unit cell. It is dimension along the 3 edges A, B, C. Dimension along 3 edges A, B, C. These edges may be or may not be mutually perpendicular. These may be perpendicular or may not be perpendicular. How they are perpendicular, how they are not perpendicular, we are seeing in this 14 previous lattice. Already shown now. Here, students, already shown the 14 previous lattice. How these are perpendicular to each other, how they are not perpendicular to each other, we are discussing this previous lattice. Right, students? So these are maybe perpendicular or may not be perpendicular. Okay, friends, this is the A, and this is the B, and this is the C. X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis, like this. So between the A and B, angle considered as a beta. Between the C and B, angle considered as a alpha. Between the A and B, the angle considered as the gamma. Right, students? So I written here angle between the edges. The alpha is between the B and C. Alpha is between B and C. Beta between the A and C. Beta between the A and C. Gamma between the A and B. Gamma between A and B. So these angles are given here, students. Right? This is about the crystal unit and unit cell, students. I hope you understood the today topics. If you have any doubt, then ask me, students. Thank you.